Welcome back to part two of the Amazon ASIN breakdown video series. Just to recap part one, we went through a few questions or a workflow on what questions we need to ask ourselves on how to reduce wasted ad spend and maximize organic rank. In this video, we're going to go through how to look through the keyword research or how to perform keyword research, how to organize it, and then how to set up your pay-per-click campaigns so that you can maximize your chances of ranking organically. We also kind of went through how to rank on Amazon, how to think about the search engine, and the workflow that we need to understand so that we can get those organic ranks that we want. So I'm just going to revisit this ranking criteria again, just to kind of walk through again what we're looking at. So we talked about the offer in the first part where we discussed search query performance report, took a look at conversion rate data of the brand versus the market, and then we began to bucket those keywords or keyword groups into whether we can rank or we can't rank. And if we can't rank on it, then we'll try to improve the offer. And then the feedback system kind of runs itself. Now I'm going to review the relevancy side of things and then the visibility side of things. So when it comes to relevancy, we have to really pay attention to keyword groups. And the reason why we need to do that is because of how Amazon works. So I call this the relevancy web, and this is probably the easiest way to explain it. So on Amazon's, say, their database, they have a collection of keywords as well as product targets. That's why in pay-per-click, you can advertise on a keyword as well as you can advertise on a target. So what I believe is they have relationships across each other. So across from keywords to product targets, they all have a different relationship. And they also have a relationship in terms of how closely relevant they are to one another. So Amazon has all this data, all this conversion data of how they perform, and the likelihood of how one keyword can perform in terms of conversion rates compared to another keyword and product target and vice versa. So let's just say, as a practical example, to kind of explain how this relevancy web kind of works. We'll start off with in the middle here, we have the keyword diaper bag backpack. So let's just say your product got a sale for that. Now Amazon will automatically flag that and say, hey, this keyword is relevant to your product because it received one sale and it got a pretty decent conversion rate compared to other products in the market that are advertising on the same keyword. So when they know that, they'll start to suggest, hey, I think you might do well for diaper bags for baby girl and baby diaper bag and baby diaper bag backpack. And perhaps this target, I'm going to show your ad on this target. And then I'm going to show your ad on this target because I know that generally products that convert well for this target will also convert well for this target and this target and this keyword and these keywords. That's the whole point of close match auto campaigns. They have a relevancy factor among or across each other, so they know what targets to go after. And then the further out you go, it becomes more of a looser match. Hence why their auto campaigns work the way they do, because they have all this data that are connected, everything to one another. So how does this actually work when it comes to rank? So when we take a look at the search engine, and let's just call this one heating pad or the keyword heating pad. So if Amazon knows that, say you convert, I'm this guy, and I convert in the 4th position for heating pad, it's because I have a certain amount of conversion rate attached to it. It would make a lot of sense for Amazon to then start to rank you well for any keywords that are very relevant to this keyword. So if you're ranking well for diaper bag backpack, they're probably going to get you to rank well for baby diaper bag and baby backpack diaper and diaper bags. And the main reason why is because they all share the same root word. So you have diaper bag, you have diaper bag, you have diaper bag, you have diaper bags. So they all are within the same keyword group. So naturally, and you can do this check on your own products, look at a keyword, look at the keyword group, and then analyze the ones that share the same root words. Are you all ranking roughly around the same amount? And the answer to that is most likely yes. You can see it in the data, and hence why I make an emphasis on ranking and understanding everything at the keyword group level. This not only helps with management, being able to rank for all of these keywords, but it gives you a lot of clarity of where you can win and where you can't win. So then when we come back to thinking about this first question about whether we can rank on a keyword or keyword group, doing this analysis at the keyword group level is key because of this concept here of how they all share the same relevancy with one another. So that is essentially what a keyword group is. It's just a shared keyword root, and understanding how the algorithm works and how we can adjust our, say, pay-per-click or organic rank strategy in order to capture these mini markets. So when I think about keyword groups or how to approach this with pay-per-click, I like to think of a product and then break it down into multiple different keyword groups. And then from the keyword groups, break those individual keyword groups into one level deeper. So then what are the subgroups of those keyword groups? And the goal is then to figure out where you can win. And then in terms of wasted ad spend and organic rank, you want to be spending more money in areas you can rank and spend less money on areas that you can't win. And if you can't win, again, it goes back down this decision tree. Are you profitable via PPC? If the answer is yes, run it all day long. If the answer is no, there better be another reason. Otherwise, you're just losing money. So this next section is going to be very data heavy. There's a lot of numbers, but it tells us a story about how a product is connected to subroots and root keywords. So I developed this tool as a Google Sheet extension. So feel free to click on this link here, and then it'll take you to a page here, and you can install it. You can give it a go. There's a free trial there, so you can test this out. This is live right now, and all the data that we pull here is first-party data. And the concept that's pulled here is the same concept that I spoke about here. So we're basically asking Amazon, hey, here's my product. Give me all the keywords you think I'm relevant for. But if we do that enough times across all of our competitors, now we can map out where we stand in comparison to the keyword groups. So this image here is quite large. I'm actually going to go into the actual real data, and we're just going to talk through this, in particular to this ASIN, which is the one I'm doing the case study on, and really try to answer those questions. Where can I win? Where am I losing? If I'm losing, what are the subroots where I'm losing them to, and so on, and try to find my strengths, try to find my weaknesses, and then see if there's any gaps that if this was my brand or my ASIN, what could I actually do here in order to take over more market share or reduce my wasted ad spend by maybe spending less money on the PPC side of things, where I might have been blind otherwise because I just didn't know. Okay, so we have a bunch of options here. This first option, what this heat map is basically when we asked Amazon, hey, give me a list of all the keywords that I am relevant for. This is a percentage of those keywords compared to all of the keywords for that specific root or subroot. Okay, so what this is basically saying is, let's just use this as an example. So for the root word had, there's 1,190 keywords. There's 24 subroot keywords within this root word, and I own 13% of that 1,200. So if I went if I select this keyword count, I own 153 of these 1,190 keywords. So that's how you have to think about it. So when you think about it in terms of a percentage, what it's telling me is whether I have enough coverage within that root or subroot word. So all of these are broken down at the group level and the subroot level. So then you're able to drill down into many levels to understand why. So I'll kind of go through an example here. So pad right now is the largest root word. I'm currently sitting at number 13%. I can see that there's many other competitors that are well above me. So the question that I'm asking is why? Like, is there something that I'm missing in my SEO, in my PPC, that I'm not getting enough coverage here? So I can dig a little bit deeper. I start to then look at the subroot level. So basically what that means is it has to include two words. So in this case, it would be pad and heating. And right here, I have a score or a percentage of 11. So I'm doing poorly here. If I can dig it even deeper, and it will give me every single keyword here. And then I'm going to try to understand where am I not winning. So here it says heating pad, period cramps. It says weighted heating pad cramps. So I'm just looking for any commonalities. So if you see a lot of X's for similar words like cramps, I'm going to dig into it and I'm going to try to understand. It's like maybe that's a market that I need to go after. So then I start to ask myself, okay, do I mention anything in my listing about cramps? In the actual listing itself, is there an image, or is there a call out explaining that I can help with this product could help with period cramps? Being the product as it is, being on the neck and shoulder, the answer is probably no. That's probably why the score is actually so low, because this isn't made for that. It's made for the neck and the shoulders. But if we're looking for a niche within, there's keywords that people are searching for related to cramps. So this wouldn't be the product for it. So when you think about it on, like, if go back to the workflow now, so if we're just dealing with the subroot or sub keyword cramps, can you organically rank on it? I'm going to assume no. I'm going to assume that the conversion rate for any word that has the keyword cramp in it, I'm probably converting very poorly, because that's not what the product is designed for. So if the answer is no, the next question is, can you be profitable on this keyword group via PPC? So if we took a look at cramp a little bit further, I won't be able to tell because I don't have the actual PPC data for this. However, I can see the word cramp here, and I can see I have a very low score. Makes complete sense. I'm going to assess. So if I open up this financial section, so because I have all the information, I can actually kind of calculate what net profit's going to be. It's because I can pull a ton of different key KPIs from Amazon, some being monthly orders, monthly clicks, which then allow me to calculate conversion rate. And with conversion rate and CPCs, I can then calculate whether I'm going to be profitable via PPC. So this right here is basically telling me no. I am assuming a 30% COGS. My FBA fees here is 40%, which is a KPI I'm pulling down. And my expected ACOs here is 68%. So if you did the math, I would actually be losing money on every PPC sale. And why is that? That's because in the cramps niche, it converts around 17%, but it has a CPC of $2.88 with an average price of $25.72. So between these three, either the conversion rate's not high enough, the CPC is too high, and the average listing price is also not high enough. And as a result, it's giving me an estimated ACOs of 68%. So that's what you can expect to perform if you were to run on these keywords. So then coming back here, can you be profitable on this keyword? The answer is no. So in terms of wasted ad spend, it would make a lot of sense on your PPC to not target anything specific to cramps. So I'm talking about applying a negative phrase across the board for the word cramp and eliminate this niche altogether, because I can't rank for it, nor can I be profitable via PPC. So if you can stop that bleeding now, you're gonna save yourself a lot of money. So that's just like one example of what we can find here. And the goal is to really just to break it down and go through every single keyword group, because this is the whole niche. We can take our product and understand understand all the keyword groups associated within them. And as long as we can get through every single one of them and go through the workflow, and then we'll have a complete understanding of we can win here and we're going to lose here. And then you now have your market cap. So if you are excelling in all the areas you expect to excel in, then you maxed out that product. And then the way to really grow then is to develop a new product. But this is the key to be able to know when to stop and so on. So let's see if I can find another example here. One that I did see earlier was here. So we have FSA, we have HSA, and we have the word eligible. Where is it? I can't seem to find it, but this is fine. So you'll notice here, I find that I'm actually winning here. So I'm winning basically 36% and 34% of all the keywords related to FSA and HSA. It has 45 keywords here, it has 61 keywords here. If I take a look at the visibility, I lost it. 1 second. Okay, HSA. So this is a really, really big niche. You can see the estimated revenue, 630,000, 380,000 there. And then you compare it to the guys at the top, right? So you got heating pad, which is the biggest route. Those are in the 8 to 700,000. So this is really, really large. So then when I speak about it in terms of my product, I'm actually doing really, really well. However, when you compare this root word to all my other competitors, there's a lot of them that are not doing well. And why is that? It's because they didn't recognize this as an actual keyword or route to go after. However, there are some that have identified it, and it's like right in their title. So what FSA and HSA are health spending accounts. So these are employees that work for companies who want to use up their health spending account. And a product like this would fall under those categories where they can then get a reimbursement for it. So explaining this to your customer, resonating, because that's what they're looking for. They're doing a search that says heating pad. You know what? Let's actually get an actual keyword. They're doing just a heating pad, for instance, right? So like there's a check mark to this. So basically Amazon thinks we're relevant for something like this. I tried to find something very, very specific to the heating pad, but people are searching that up. And imagine if you, in the listing or this product, I made an image slide that just spoke to HSA, health spending account, eligible for this product. You're basically speaking to the customer. They're going to, the minute they read that, they're probably going to buy, because they know that your product is HSA eligible. Otherwise, they wouldn't have typed it from the beginning. So really the key is trying to identify where you can win and you can't, and just take over that market. So this guy has done a really good job on being able to identify this niche, or like this set of keywords to go after, where many of the top guys are not. But vice versa, if I was one of these guys and I noticed that, hey, my competitors here are excelling here, and my product is also HSA eligible, so I should be able to do the exact same thing. And you definitely can. So in order to improve, you have to make Amazon know that you're relevant for it. So you got to do a couple things. You got to make sure that your SEO is on point. So making sure that you have this root word or the sub-root words within your title and your bullet points in your back end, etc. And then you need to send some traffic to it, because you have to prove to Amazon that you can give them enough conversion history so they know what you actually sell. And if they know that you sell any keyword that has HSA in it and you convert at a fairly decent amount, they're going to start to rank you for it, because they're going to start to create this relevancy web for your product. And then you're going to start to see a lot of products that come out of that when you run your PPC. So obviously I'm not able to go through every single one of these, but the idea is the same. You're You're really just like looking for those gaps and those opportunities, and using the demand, using the demand, the net profit numbers, conversion rates, CPCs, to really understand whether you can make an impact in it or not. Decisions. Even though you might be able to win in a lot of categories, it might not make sense for your budget on how much you want to spend on a product, because it can get really expensive when you're ranking, because you can definitely rank but be wildly unpopular or wildly profitable when it comes to the PPC. And the perfect niches for those is supplements, right? So like supplement niches, cost per clicks are just too high. Average price is too low, and then as a result, generally you're losing money, at least on the first sale for that. But if you know that you can rank for it, you're going to feel a lot more confident to go forward. So yeah, use this data here to be able to make those calls and go after a niche that may not be as competitive, and you might be able to carve out your own little section there for the piece of the pie there. So, and then the other one that I did want to point out is, so I kind of almost understand why the pad and the heating ones are much lower than everyone else. It's because my product isn't necessarily similar to everything else, even though I'm playing in the same field, because all of these cover the back, the neck, and the shoulder, or they can make it work. But in this case, it's specific to neck and shoulder. So my hunch is these ones here are probably failing because I'm probably doing great on the neck keywords, which it's showing here, and the shoulder keywords, but I am not excelling most likely in the back keywords. So I'm at 13, right? So like you can see the huge difference between neck and shoulder versus back, and I am much lower than compared to everyone else, which makes a lot of sense. Electric, so this one's kind of interesting. I am an electric. I'm at 16. All my top competitors are a lot higher. So then I would see, is there anything in electric that I might be able to do better in? Again, it could be like heating electric back, right? Because we know that's going to be a part of what a normal customer in this niche would mention. So it could make sense that this is not very high. We can also understand things like large. Like, is the word large? Let me see, actually. I like to look at it at the root word first and then dive a little deeper. So the word large, we're currently at 14. There's top competitors that are around 46. I wouldn't consider this to be large because it's not a full pad. So then I would start to then ask myself those questions. Is it even worth running the word large? If you take a look at the PPC side, let me see. So PPC, it looks like I can basically break even on it. So the real question is whether I can rank on keywords with the word large in it. Again, if I'm breaking even, maybe I'm just trying to drive up reviews. Like that could be a good enough reason. I run this keyword group at break even, but if I can't rank on it organically, then I'm just going to leave it. But if this then starting to become unprofitable via PPC, then I'm going to shut it down. No reason to run any keywords through PPC with the word large in it, and so on. So again, you can get really, really deep with this. The things you can do within this tool outside of the obvious data points here is we can start to look at the SEO side of things. So let's just say you've identified many of these routes that you might be doing well in. So I have a function in here that starts to look at the existence of these specific keywords in the title and bullet points. So it does really help to really understand, okay, am I doing the SEO side of things? It looks like I might be able to organically rank here. So did I do the SEO side? And if so, then okay, what am I missing? Maybe I'm just missing the visibility side of things when it comes to the ranking side. So just stepping back here, going back here. So what did we figure out? We understood relevancy. We understood it at the keyword group level. We understand that the workflow that we need to go through and ask ourselves at the keyword group level, and we've identified of those keyword groups where we can excel in terms of the offer. So in order to get this, which is required to rank, we're missing conversion history. In order to get conversion history, it really comes down to visibility. So then knowing what we know, about the keyword group side of things, we have all these keywords or keyword groups, and we've identified, yep, I can rank on those, I can be profitable on PPC on those, and I'm losing on those. So after you bucket all of those, now we got to start sending traffic to it. So it's pretty straightforward, but generally there's a way to run PPC in order to maximize your chances of rank. So it's best explained by just going back to the basics, like how do you rank for the top positions here? You have to have the best offer. So what does best offer mean? It means conversion rate. So how do we set up our PPC so that we have the best conversion rate, but also have the most control? So when it comes to the campaign structure side of things, we're gonna want to set up one campaign, one ad group, one match type, and so on, just like the basic campaign structure, so that you have complete control over that keyword group. And then from there, what can we do within the campaign settings to allow us to maximize conversion rate? So that's pretty easy. We have placements. We can use top of search. Generally, top of search will provide a higher conversion rate because the intent of the customer generally will see the listings up top and then they'll purchase. So we got to make sure we put most of our spend and focus at top of search. If we are not at top of search, then there's other problems. We might be not bidding high enough, and we might be showing up in a different placement. But these are the things you have to check in order for you to actually rank. You can be spending a ton of money, but if everything's going to, say, a much lower conversion rate for rest of search or product pages, you're not going to rank. It is. So you really want to give yourself the best, or feed Amazon the best and the best converting data, and that's really how you're going to win there. And then some other things, like you got to make sure that you have enough budget, make sure you're not throttling yourself so that you can feed Amazon with enough data. And then just general hourly parting. So there's going to be times in the day, times of the hours, times of the nights where people are more likely to window shop than to actually purchase on the spot. So really just targeting those hours where it has the highest conversion rate. That's really key to this. Again, it's not the biggest, probably the biggest lever. However, because we know it, we're just going to do it because we know that we just want to feed Amazon with the best conversion rate data that we possibly can. So then when it comes to keyword groups, this is when the management side comes in, because we're looking at these keyword groups. We know how large these are. The root word pad has 24 different subroutes within them. So how do we break these out? So if we know how this works, and we know that generally, when we work with keyword groups, they all kind of rank together. So when we take a look at a keyword here, we really only need to focus on the main ones, because all the long tails are going to convert roughly the same, and they're also going to rank at the exact same time as the main targets. So when we set this PPC structure up, we're going to be running single keyword campaigns so that we can have full control over it. But we're also going to set up another campaign, a phrase match or a broad match modifier of all the same targets we're going to go after. And the reason is because that's going to pick up all the long tails of that route. And then we're going to just push these together because they're going to help each other out. We're basically giving Amazon as much conversion rate data at the keyword group level, right? So if we are taking a look at this data, and let's just assume that market is converting at 15%, as a whole, we're driving so much traffic for this keyword route, and we're trying to get a conversion rate that's going to be higher than that. Obviously, don't use this specifically. Definitely use the search query performance report, because this is going to be pretty good truth into whether you can rank or not. And yeah, that's generally it. So if I were to do this, I think I came up with a couple examples. I wouldn't target the word large. I saw extra large in here. I would definitely double down on FSA, HSA, really try to increase my percentage there, because I know it does work. But I do also realize these guys are much higher. So then I would try to understand why. What are in these subroutes that are allowing them to rank better than me or have a more keyword coverage here? Anything with the word back, probably not worth going after. I would see if it's profitable. If it's not profitable, I would cut it. So that's going to be the plan. And then anything that I can rank for, I'm gonna basically set this up and just start sending traffic, watch everything and see how it goes. So that's basically it. It's very data heavy. I will share this spreadsheet as well, so you can kind of dig through and see if you can find something that I didn't see while I was trying to go through this, and really just try to hone in on this concept. And yeah, and then the next part here, we're gonna dive into listing optimization, because we would have grouped 3 buckets here. One of those buckets is, oh, we can't be profitable on this, or sorry, we can't organically rank on this, so we have to improve our offer. So everything flows down to here, improving the offer. So in the next one, we're going to start to dive into not only what we learned on the keyword research, keyword group side of things. We're going to take that data. We're also going to take the same data on the search query performance side and really get a full understanding of what are our customers searching for. And then from there, we're going to see what we can do to improve the offer. So I'm going to go through a bunch of areas, including market research, competitor research, looking at every competitor's listing. What are they talking about? What are the common themes within these? And then I'm going to leverage AI and try to understand it at the main image level in terms of like click-through rate, but also the conversion rate level, using AI to really understand our customer avatar and whether our current listing is good enough to capture enough of these routes and speak to our customers better, and whether we can make any meaningful improvements to it. Again, I don't own this ASIN. This is just kind of what I would have done. And then I would push this all then to split testing, which you can then also do in Jungle Ace. So we do also specialize in split testing there, but I will show you that in the next part. So that's generally it. If you liked what you saw today, definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's video series. Thanks.